Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls 2, Skull of the First Sin. Yep. Last we left off, we did the giant memories. Yep, at least the last two. I think it was the memories of Oro and the memories of Jay? I'm quite sure what the last one was. I think it's like Jeigh, I think it's what it was. Either that or Veigh, I don't quite remember, but funky pronouncing name. But yeah, he basically did the last of those. Was it? Yes, it was. The first one, the memory of Oro, we actually encountered our buddy Benhart of Jugo. Yeah, somehow he was in the memories, even though he knew us. Like, we talked to him in the memories, and he's like, "Hey, it's nice to see you again." You know, supposedly the memories are supposed to happen in the past, before our little adventures through Drangelic, before our meeting of Benhart, but I guess not. I don't know. Kind of weird. It seems like Benhart was also, he also has the Ashen Mistar. He also delved into the memories at the same time as we did, so yeah, it's kind of odd. But yeah, so we encountered him, talked to him, hoping to get his equipment from him, because we did summon him for 3 boss fights: the Prowling Magus, Looking Glass Knight, and the Throne Watcher, Throne Defender. But no dice. Nope. Apparently, Throne Watcher, Throne Defender don't count as a boss that would progress his little quest line thing for some reason. I had a feeling it wouldn't, but I was hoping it would, but nope. I think the Nishandra fight also counts as a boss that will, but not Throne Watcher, Throne Defender does not, which is sad because it kind of threw a little wrench into my little plan, because I wanted to summon Captain Drummond for the Giant Lords, but since Benhart's little quest line wasn't done, I had to summon him for the Giant Lords, because I know Giant Lord is a boss you can summon him for that will count. So I was kind of disappointed at that, but c'est la vie. Yep, so after talking with him, we just kind of explored the memories. I think we first took the path on the right, which led us to a big open courtyard with a bunch of giants and some soldiers outside. Just kind of cleared that a bit. I think at that point the Ashen Mist faded. We had to go back in. Yep. So instead of going to the right, we went up the stairs, took care of some soldiers, found a Pharaoh's contraption, which opened up a wall. Inside, I believe there was a chest containing something. I don't quite remember. Yeah, I'm probably not going to remember everything, but yeah, so there's a chest containing something. There's also another Pharaoh's contraption in that room. However, that's a trap. Yeah, it'll activate a projectile trap that will hit you if you activate it. So it may not kill you outright, but it will do a good chunk of damage. So it's basically just a trap. Yeah. The other hidden wall in that room you have to interact with like any other fake walls. Yep. So the first Pharaoh's Lockstone is to use to open the door. The other one is used for a trap. Clever. Yep. But so through that wall there was 2 more chests. One containing the steel set. Yeah, this is the set of the steel armor returning from Dark Souls 1. And the other one, I believe, contained a fire seed, or some more bonfire aesthetics, probably. But yep, another. Yep. Then after that, we went back up to the next. I think the next story up took us to the roof. There were some giants and some soldiers on ballistas, and I think we took the time to. I think we were able to knock down or to destroy a. What's the word? It was like a little break almost from one of the cranes. Yeah, we busted up some debris that freed up the crane that lowered a I'll just say plank. It lowered a plank down so we can access a quote hidden room down below. But at that point, the memory was fading, so we just did a drop down for a soul item. Yep. And then we went one more run through the memory of Oro. Yep. All the way up to the roof. Did that little drop down onto the crane platform. Yep. Got into the little hidden room below, which contained, I think, some skeptic and simpleton spices, and I think a fire seed. And that popped us out back into the courtyard, yep, on the upper level, where there was some more soul items up there. And then the last thing we grabbed was the soul of a giant at the very end. And that was it for the memory of Oro. And the next stop was the memory of Gia? Or Jig? I don't know. I don't quite know how to pronounce it, but the last memory contained, the only thing that's in there is a soul of a giant at the very end, but also the Giant Lord's boss fight. Yep. So that boss fight, you could summon Captain Drummond that we met in the memory of Amar, but because Benhart his questline wasn't complete, so we ended up having to summon him in order to fight the Giant Lord, so I can get his stuff, so I didn't have to worry about him ever again. So we did summon Benhart, tried to cross the bridge, got squashed by the statue. Yeah, apparently our stuff's underneath the statue, so we can't get to him even if we wanted to. Yep, so we died, back to the memory, resummoned Benhart, survived the trek across the rampart. I think it's the rampart. And then we took on the Giant Lord, who's not too hard. He can hit pretty hard. He does have a good amount of health, but for the most part, he's like any other giants. He's weak to the dark, so we just kind of used our dark orb, dark fog to kind of poison him, and just wail at his ankles. So, yeah, he's not very hard, just kind of tedious, just for his sheer health bar, but with Benhart's help, we did defeat the Giant Lord. Benhart survived, grabbed the surrounding loot, which I think was maybe like a soul item, maybe it was a life gem, but then we went to the back, grabbed our soul of a giant. So that gave us 5 giant souls in total. Went back to the memory of Oro, talked with Benhart. He gave us his stuff, and I think and then after that, since we had 5 souls of a giant, we went down into back to the undead crypt and took on King Vendrick. Yep, or at least his hollowed state. Yep. Yeah, so we took on King Vendrick. He's not very hard either. You just gotta stick to his left leg. And for the most part, most of his attacks should miss you if you just kind of keep to his left leg and strafe to your right. So, kind of like the Giant Lord, he does hit hard if you get hit, but he also has a lot of health. And if you don't have 5 souls of a giant, he's very tanky, and it's one of those tedious fights. It's another tedious fight. But I think we used pyromancies against him. I think we did pyromancies. Yeah, I think we did. So, yeah, just kind of stick to his leg, whittled him down. Yep, and we defeated him. Yep, he doesn't drop anything. All he gives is his souls. Yeah, because his drops are in the Shrine of Amana. And since we defeated Vendrick and we were human, we went back into the Shrine of Amana. From the Roy's resting place, we kind of backtracked to where we encountered the Dragon Rider enemy in the Amana. Across that little kind of hidden bridge underneath the water to some vines and a door. Yep. And that door can only be opened if you're 1, human, and 2, King Vendrick has been defeated. So since we defeated King Vendrick, we were human, we were able to open the door, and inside was the soul of a king. King Vendrick's soul, to be exact. And also a chest containing his armor. Yep. So now we have the king's armor and the king's soul. I think the last thing we did is we checked out what we could get from his soul with Ornifex, which I think was like a great sword, an ultra great sword, and a shield. I did grab the shield, so I did use the King Soul for the shield. The King Shield, which is right here. I really do like how it looks. It's really cool. It's also pretty solid, a solid shield. So, and the last thing we did is we checked out the rest of Bajula. Yep, and that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. Finished up the Giant's Memory, took on King Vendrick, and I think that was it. Yeah. And that for that, other than Deshandra and Aldia at the Throne of Wants, the base game is done. So all we have left is the final boss, which I will push to the very end. So for now, base game is done. It's time for DLCs. Oh yeah. And so between episodes, I went back to the Shrine of Amana, farmed some more Twinkling Titanite, so I can upgrade the King's armor, which I have not wearing right now. But so I upgraded the King's armor. I think that was it, really. I think I just went and grabbed some more Twinkling Titanite stuff to upgrade King's armor, the Witch's hat here, and maybe a weapon or two. Yeah, I know I upgraded the halberd here to max, the plus 10. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, just Twinkling Titanite farming, upgrades. Leveled up once to get our 30 endurance. Yep, that was it. And now for today, we'll be diving into the first DLC, the Crown of the Sunken King. Yep, or Sunken King, I mean. Yep, the first DLC release. That's where we're going to go. And to access it, we need to be here. This is the Primal Bonfire past the Rotten in the Black Gulch. That little shrine over there will allow us access into the Sunken DLC. And also, since we already have the, I think it's this one here. Yeah, the Dragon Talon. Yep. Yeah, deepest reaches of the Black Gulch, behind a door locked from the inside, is a magnificent city built for a great slumbering dragon. Yep. This will actually. So this altar will take us to the DLC, but we need the Dragon Talon to actually activate or to get past the locked door to get to it. So that's the plan for today. Crown of the Sunken King. Not quite sure how far we'll get, but hopefully I'll make it at least into the temple, but I doubt it. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done the DLC, so I'm gonna be kind of forgetful here and there, but well. Yep. And our equipment for today, at least to start off, I have the CN Halberd plus 10. I have this combined with the Stone Ring because the main enemies, the Sanctum soldiers, they have really high poise. So I'm not even sure if this with the Stone Ring will be enough to actually poise break them. So if we can't poise break them, it's going to be a slog. Yeah, so I hopefully this and the Stone Ring will be enough to poise break them, but I don't know. We'll see. If I can, it'll be nice. If I can't, it's going to be, again, a slog. So, but hopefully with CN Halberd's attack power, we should get them in like 2 hits. But we'll see. So I have our CN Halberd, Hunter Bow, the King's Shield to plus 5. I think it's the max for the shield. Some pretty solid defense negations there. I got my Pyromancy Flame because we'll be using Pyromancies because I'm pretty sure the Sanctum soldiers are weakest to fire. So hopefully our little combustions and fireballs will do the job. I have my Soldier's Ring plus 1 just to keep our equip load somewhat reasonable. I think without this we'll be in the mid-60s, 60%, but I can always change that if I have to. Stone Ring again just to hopefully stagger the soldiers. I have the King's Ring on because this actually provides, it's like 1 or 2% additional fire damage. So hopefully this will give us a little bit boost to our Pyromancies. Hopefully enough to one-shot the soldiers, but I doubt it. But we'll take whatever we can get. And the bluestone ring for faster cast speeds. So again, these two will probably change out depending on the situation. I'm hoping this works, because otherwise it's gonna suck. But in my armor for today, I got my Black Witch's hat just for the additional attunement slot, because it does provide one additional attunement slot. Earththrone Watcher armor, King's Gauntlet, and Haid Knight's leggings. I like this look. I like it a lot. Yeah, I just like the Throne Watcher armor. I just really do like it. Got my flask, old gems, charcoal pine resin, again because Sanctum soldiers I believe are weakest to fire. Poison moss because we are going into the Sunken King, and that DLC is full of poison. Yeah, the soldiers inflict poison. Some of them they radiate poison. So just having a bunch of poison moss on you is just going to be helpful. And I have iron arrows, fire arrows. Again, since the enemies are poisonous, they are actually pretty resistant, if not outright immune to poison. So poison arrows is not going to be helpful. So I have fire arrows here, again because they're weakest to fire. Alright. Here are my stats. Again, I think I put one more point into endurance. Looking pretty good. Pretty good. I have 2 copies of Great Combustion, 2 copies of Great Fireball, as well as Forbidden Sun. So, hopefully these will work, I hope. But, we'll see. We'll see. Alright. I think I rambled on long enough. Shall we get going to the Sunken King? Let's go. Because King Vendrick wants us to grab... Oh, we can actually examine. Forbidden is the path to the ancient king's domain. Trespassers will face adversity befitting a monarch. With water dry and path amiss, woeful temptation is dismissed. The city of the Sunken King sleeps as does the dragon within. Interesting. Alright. To the Sunken King. That's gonna be fun. Here we are. Again, we can examine to go back, but we don't want to go back. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in this room. Signs written here is being channeled from somewhere far away. Yep. And if you want to participate in the challenge zone of the DLC, you put your summon signs in this room. And you'll be able to be summoned in that little challenge area. That's a little feature for those who didn't have the DLC at the time. You can still experience it without having to actually own it, which is nice. Alright. Oh, we can light torch. Cool. It's a nice little feature. Didn't realize that was a thing. Here we go. Just looking at the little design on the doors. I don't think it means anything, but I'm just looking at it. Alright. Open. Alright, here we come, Shulva. Yeah, Shulva is the name of the city. Yep. Got some bright stones. Very reminiscent of Seldora. Three Dragon Charms. I believe cure poison and grant health regen. Sanctum City. You can actually see the those down there are called the Imperfects. Yeah, they're actually going to be hopefully our source for dragon scales, but they are pretty tough. So. You can actually hear him snoring. Yep. Over there is the area leading to the challenge zone of the DLC. Here's the main temple sarcophagus, or ziggurat. There he is. That is Sin, the slumbering dragon. Yep. And he has a spear through him as well. And we'll come to later known that is actually York's I can't pronounce, but it's York's shield, or that. Some dude's spear. We'll come upon his ring for sure, but you can hit him with an arrow, but you can't kill him in the state. So all we can do is wake him up. There he goes. It reminds me a lot of Calamite. We probably share several similarities with him. Yeah. First bonfire, here we go. Okay. Old growth bomb. So I think it's a new item for the DLC. There it is. Temporarily increases strength. Yep. The secret fragrant oil affects the mind, granting a fleeting sense of empowerment. You're drugging yourself. It provides like 5 strength for about 45 seconds, give or take. So, how useful it is, I don't know. That's questionable. Yep. Alright, so I think this is the way forward, right? Yes. This is the way forward. That right there is a Sanctum soldier. We'll come back here in a second. Let's check this out. Yep. I think this is a shortcut back. Yeah, this is a shortcut back. Okay. Interesting why they have a giant room like this. Okay. Whatever. Oh, almost ran off. Let's not do that. No, let's not run off. Alright. Alright, Sanctum soldier. Get up. I missed. Oh yeah, like any other FromSoft DLCs. NPC defenses are pretty nuts, or their defenses are kind of nuts. Yeah, but it looked like it took 2 hits for us to stagger him, which is okay. That's doable. Ow. So we have a bunch of people. We have this thing here, which we can actually trigger. So we'll actually raise a platform. There it goes. Looks like it knocked Mr. Spear guy off. They can drop their mace and their gauntlets. Yep. Poison moss, thank you. Alright. Alright, so we got his attention, which is what we want. Yeah, you see, a lot of poise. So this is going to be kind of a slog. Yeah. Since we can't... I want to try something. I know they have pretty low fire defense, so I'm hoping we can... You guys all have bows, okay. Hit that, another pillar should climb up. There we go. We see another Sanctum soldier. Come on. Nice. Okay, yeah, we're doing much more damage with this, so we'll stick with this spear. Oh, they got his mace. Nice. Yep, Sanctum Mace. Great hammer, really good physical attack or physical damage. Has a little bit of poison buildup. Mace wielded by Sanctum soldiers. This mace was corrupted by poison when Sin, the slumbering dragon, awoke. A mere mortal would be asphyxiated by the poison emitted when wielding this mace. But for the noxious Sanctum soldiers, this fact matters none. Yep. Yep, so Sin, the slumbering dragon, awoke. He spread poison throughout the Sanctum. Yep. Yeah, so we'll stick with our fire wing spear here. So it was doing a lot more damage than the CN halberd. Again, probably because of the fire on it. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Ow. I keep hitting this stupid wall. Alright. Well, we have a spear, might as well make use of it. Come on. So where are you over here? Once we can break their poise, you should be. We're good. So. Nice. All right. Life gems. Don't mind if I do. Right, so we're actually going to lower this back down. You can actually ride onto it. I don't think there's there's a thing right there we can drop off on. What we want to do is Wait for it to come up. Yep. That way we can run and jump over here. Like, I think we need to sprint off. Yeah, sprint off. And we get the Dark Quartz Ring +3. Nice. This further increases dark defense compared to the other rings. I know. Alright. Actually, let's... I'm gonna do this one first. Just want to see where it goes. How far down? Okay, so there is a thing right there. Alright. You want to do this now? Yeah, sure, we'll do it now. Nice. Alright, so this brings us to a different spot. Okay. I think we bypassed a lot of the different areas. Alright, there's another guy. Yeah, I was afraid of that. There we go. Nice. Yeah, lance guys can be kind of trouble because, you know, multiple hits and all that stuff. Poison stone. Okay. Trying to get my bearings real quick. Which one do you raise? Ah, this one, okay. We'll catch a ride. Longbow +7. Thank you. Although we're kind of stuck now. Okay. Well, I think we should still be able to hit that, yeah. There we go. Alright, we're good. Run off. This is... Okay, this is the, I'm trying to remember. Ah, okay. This is the inside of the first pillar we raised up. This is the inside of it, so we're below where we were. Yeah, because we were above us, so we're in the same spot. We just kind of did one big loop. Yeah, because this is the other pillar by the whole bunch of the arrow guys. But I think we might be stuck. No, okay. That lowers that one over there. Okay. On. There we go. Should take us up. And we're good. Yep. Alright. Yeah, since I can't stagger these guys in one hit, it's going to be a real fun DLC. In fact, I don't think this is actually useful anymore. I think what we really need is stamina regen. Yep, we have corrosive bugs in here. Ow. And an arrow guy over there. Oh, and a stupid mace guy over there. Back off. You can parry these guys, although I'm not too familiar with timing. There we go. But again, their defenses are kind of stacked. And it only gets worse from here, so... This should get us over here, yep. Allow us to actually jump across. I'll take that trade. Yeah, should have known. Go. So now we can get across all that down there. We're not going to do that just yet. Lots of nooks and crannies. There's that one, so now we can actually walk across. Pretty sure these are filled with poison, so we're going to avoid that. So we're going to actually backtrack a little bit. Since I already have an infused weapon, let's put some throwables on. Yeah, because those are corrosive. We have some corrosive bugs. Yeah, the little bug critter things on the ground. Golden fruit bomb, which I believe is for dexterity, similar to the other bomb we got. Alright, so let's just make sure. Yep. Oh, faith. Okay, never mind. Golden fruit bomb is for faith. Yep. Fleeting sense of empowerment. Yep. 5 points to faith for about 45 seconds, give or take. Alright, so we have over here, which I think just... Yep. This gives us a little vantage point. Gives a sneak peek of the secret guy on the other side of the corner there. Go this way. Here's some more of those bug guys. I think they're in there. We'll raise this little statue here. It goes up a ways? Oh, right here, cool. Nice. Bye-bye. Yep, there's a drop down. We'll take it. Some old growth bomb. We'll deal with you in a second. Get the back here. Alright. There. Okay. Oh, never quite looked up before. It's like we're down a deep cave. Yeah. Interesting, like little... Kind of reminds me of like tree roots. How they're kind of spread like that. Interesting. Alright, so is this, I think, oh no, we have over here, up in here. Another Sanctum soldier. still have my stone ring on? There we go. Okay, it's not useful here, I mean. Yeah. I knew they had a lot of poise. I didn't think they had that much poise, which is kind of nuts. Alright. Poison bite ring +1. Further increase to poison poison resistance. I think this gives us 150. This gives us 300. So yeah, if you don't want to be poisoned, put that on. Alright. Just brings us back to the beginning. Just want to make sure there's nothing up here that I can get to. Did that already. Let's do an old growth. Alright. So actually we'll hit this. Get on this. See where this takes us. Takes us nowhere. Cool. So I think I'm stuck. Yeah, I think I'm stuck. Oh boy. We just have to run through all that again, which I did not want. Well. It's on the other side of those little... Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind. Whew, okay. I was hoping we weren't stuck, thank God. Last thing I want to do is run through all that again. I did not want to deal with these Sanctum soldiers. Alright, so I think our only way forward is this way. Yep. Well, that way or that way? Let's go this way. Alright. Allows us to drop there. Sure. Nice. Some more creepy crawlies in here. Alright. Let's check out upstairs. I think there's going to be a bunch of them up here. Yeah, there's 3 on the ceiling, 1 along the entrance. Not what I wanted. Fire bombs, that's not good. But hexing urns from Valencia. Alright. Another kind of a preview of what's to come. Ooh, you can already hit us from here? Or is it someone else? It's him and him, alright. Alright. Yeah, that little this little crossing's really, really dangerous. Because not only you have the guy on the ground there, you have the 3 archers, there's another guy on the ground right above our heads. So yeah, that's going to be a real pain to get through. Came in over here. Gives us a quick look. Alright, I think we're good. So all we got is Elizabeth mushrooms out of this, huh? Not really worth it. This guy right here, he's got a bunch of poison statues on his back. The only way to kill him is to kill that thing right there. It's like a little lizard thing with a bunch of statues on the back. Statues can't be destroyed. He doesn't take damage from them. You have to hit him in his head. Like that. Yeah. Fruits, bunch of throwing knives, bunch of cracked red eye orbs. Okay. Let's go. I heard ya. He was probably like down in the corner here. Luckily you can strafe him pretty easily. Yeah, he was probably back here. Alright, so we have this way down, we have this way across. Yeah, we'll go down first. Here's another one. Ooh. Thank you. So that's the best strategy, just to kind of strafe around them. Is this actually the way forward? That's what it looks like. Interesting. Well, we're definitely going to do the bridge, or that little crossing over here. Alright, so we're definitely going to do this. Okay. Actually, let's go up first. I heard ya, I heard ya. Yep, gonna guarantee Sanctum mace right there. So now we can power stance them if we have enough strength. So this should be to the left. Yeah, it's to the left. There we go. We're just gonna strafe him on the back. He dropped down. Oh, that was the room that we were in. Okay. Yeah. Dried roots. think that out. Over there. Okay, so we're just above where we were. Okay. We have a new item for the DLC. And restores HP for a long time. Yeah, oh yeah. Root of a perennial or perennial herb native to the south. Restores HP for an extended duration. Wild animals abhor the pungent odor of this root, but clerics on pilgrimage are keenly aware of the value of its powerful medical effects. This thing slowly restores HP over a really long time. It's like 1 HP every other second for like a minute or so. Yeah. Also has a nice, really bad humming sound. I don't quite know how to describe it. I used it once, didn't use it ever again. I mean, it's good to have if you're just gonna like run around, but it's the HP restore is too slow to be of real any use. I mean, again, if you're just running around, you killed everything. If you're just running around looking for stuff, having this, consuming this in the background will probably help. But the noise it makes while it's in effect it can be irritating, to say the least. So, use with caution. I'll say that. But it does last a long time, that is for sure. I'm tempted to use it just so you guys can actually hear it. 30 magic bolts. Okay. That should raise one of these. That one. Up there. Were we just in there? Or is that something else? That's something else. Okay, that's actually... We'll take that one. I'm pretty sure there's an invader that can invade here. I think a forlorn might be able to invade here. Get up, buddy. Ow. Just get him up, lure him away. He will come. You missed, buddy. So that's the winning strat, just get backstabs. Ow. Yeah, we're getting hit's gonna be inevitable crossing this little bridge or walkway. Come on, buddy. I hate that you're not immune, or you don't have iframes while you're backstabbing. Did it actually stagger him? Well, it doesn't kill him outright, so... 3 Titanites. Ooh, nice. It has a lingering effect, which is nice. Okay. Yeah. Those are petrified statues, yep. So I guess you can't bust them up with I'm going to use the dry root now, just so you guys can hear it. Okay, it's not quite as loud as I remember. It's a slow little hum. Just keep an eye on how slowly our HP is regenning. That's not what I wanted. As I try and get break those statues. Go. Hit the statue, raises the platform. Ooh. There we go. Alright, so we're actually going to backtrack real quick. I'll just bring this around. Okay, I thought there was something more to it, but... There's an item on there. I think it's too far to jump. Let's check this out. Okay, you actually might be able to hear the low hum. Yeah, it's pretty low. It can get irritating after a while, but it does last a really long time. So that's probably how we get to some of the other bridges. Alright. I'm gonna have to do some lever or switching here to do. Grab some Lloyd's talismans. Alright, what was the purpose of that? Unless it blocks the line of sight when trying to explore that, but... what was... No, that's probably death, so I'm not gonna bother. Nice. Can actually just run off here. Or not. Okay, you might have to actually roll. I thought you could just run off. Oh no, we have to go back around to get that thing. Alright. Lovely, I get to do all that again. I get to do that again. I'm just actually going to pause the recording here or skip right back to it. Fun, fun, fun. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I just kind of cleared out our way back here. Yeah, I already grabbed up my souls from over there. Yeah. Also have the mace out. They also are pretty... They're also weaker to strike than to thrust, but I was using the wing spear just because it had fire infused on it, and I know they're very weak to that. So, so in order to get to that item, I think we need to go down here. Or where was it? I remember how to get back down there. Over here. Okay. Yeah, it's the room, one with the two guys in it. We got this. Aim for backstabs. Backstab City here. Alright. Go up here. I think it's up here. Yep. I think we just kind of... No, you cannot. Okay. So what, we have to roll into that? I guess we have to roll into it. Alright, we might face another death here, but it's the only way there. Alright, let's see if it works. Nope. So I don't know how to get to that item then. Unless we have to raise up the other thing. Alright. Well. I want to get to the next bonfire. At least get to another shortcut. So. I could do that all again. Yay! Alright, so I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, I'm back. Yep, sorry about that. Ooh, effigy, thank you. Alright, so yeah, you can't run off, can't roll off, so I guess you have to drop down, I guess. Which means we probably have to raise these little these things here. We'll do that one first. That should raise that one up. Yep. Looks like it's a solid pillar. There it goes. Alright, so we're going to raise this up, and we're going to drop off to that one up there. At least I hope it will. There we go. Thunder Quartz Ring, +3. Don't mind if I do. Should be able just to kind of drop down there. Which means, how do we get to the one down below? That is a good question. There we go. Yeah, because we can't jump across. I think there's any way for us to go up. That will raise that one. I don't know. That is a good question. So I know that's the way back once we get on there, but how do we get on there? That lowers this one, right? Lowers that one. Oh. Aha. Well, this should be up across. Alright. 2 Dark Knight Stones. Not really worth it. Already swimming in Dark Knight Stones, so I was like, nope. Alright. So that's how you get to it. You just gotta lower that one, and you just kinda like jump across. Alright. So now we can actually... raise this one back up. There we go. Now we should be able to get across. I think we can do this real quick. It shouldn't lead us anywhere. 5 torches. Ooh. Ah, yes. This little tree thing. Notched with +7, as well as Promise Walk of Peace. Which I think is a hex. Yep, right there. A hex created from an ancient miracle of unknown origin. Slows the walking pace of its caster and those in the vicinity. To stand and glare at one another, steaming with ire and wrath, but without making a move. Such is the nature of peace. Yep, based on the Tranquil Walk of Peace, miracle from Dark Souls 1, where I think we found it in the catacombs. Yeah, it was used by the Stone Knights in the Dark Root garden. We can actually use it if we really wanted to, but yeah, but it slows everyone, and not just us, but also not just everyone else, but also us. Yes, but this tree right here is a very interesting tree. You hit it, nothing happens. But if you switch over to, say, the Notched Whip, yeah, it releases repair powder. Yeah, it's fully restores durability of things equipped. I don't know why it's only the Notched Whip, but I guess it just likes everything. It's got to be the Notched Whip for some reason. Don't ask why. It's just that's the way it is. All right. So as this is the dead end. It's an odd tree in this little cave. Yeah. Call it a tree isn't really true. It's more like a creature of some sort. See his eyes that are twitching about. But it's there. I don't know. It's just there. All right. So this brings us up here. We should be able to move across. Bring us to the bonfire. In fact, we can actually drop down. So now we can drop down again. That is the way forward into the actual temple itself. You can see another bonfire across the way, but that leads to the challenge zone of the DLC, which I will do, but I'm not looking forward to it. Not one bit. Yeah, 'cause it's meant to be done with one or two other players, human players, not just AI summons, but actual people. Yeah, 'cause it's really dense with enemies, and yeah. So that's our next little walkway. Yeah, because inside there are the Sanctum Knights, which I am not looking forward to at all. Those guys, you cannot poise break. Nope. You cannot stagger them one bit. If you can, it requires a ton of poise damage, and we're not going to be able to pull it off. Not without like an ultra great sword and the stone ring and all that jazz, but that's if they stagger at all, which I don't think they do. See some soldiers on there. Yeah. Alright. But now that we have a bonfire, with that I am going to call an episode. Yep. Started the crown of the Sunken King. Yep. We made our way here to Shulva, the Sanctum city. Yep. We were first greeted by Sin, the slumbering dragon. Yep, the dragon himself, worshipped by the people of Shulva, which will hopefully get some items to back that up. But yep, he just kind of woke up, flew away, and we began our slow trudge through the Sanctum city. Yep. Yeah, because we were banking on the CN halberd and the stone ring poise breaking the Sanctum soldiers in one hit. But no, that didn't work. Nope. It required two, and but since we couldn't poise break in one hit, it became a real kind of bummer of a fight. I mean, luckily we can do it in two, but yeah, at that point, having the stone ring on was like pointless, and I switched over from the CN halberd to my fire winged spear because I knew they were weakest to fire. So having that out did a bit more damage, so hopefully we could kill them a bit quicker. Yeah. Otherwise, it's the mace here, which again I think they're also weaker to strike than to thrust. So, but pick your poison at that point. Yep, so we just kind of slogged our way through Sanctum soldiers. There's quite a number of them. It's pretty dense in this little area. Utilized little pillar switches, whatever they're called, to raise various platforms to break line of sights, to hit various enemies, just to soften them up. Yeah, just kind of went through Sanctum soldiers. They did drop their mace, even though it is a guaranteed pickup, but they did drop their mace. I think the guys with the lance and the shield, I'm pretty sure they can drop their lance and shield as well. But I think they can anyway. But yep. Yeah, just kind of raised the platforms, found little goodies on them, used the switches to kind of find alternate routes and all that stuff. Found various balms, little fragrance, they're called fragrances, but they're more like little drugs. Balm extract from a rare plant, special fragrant oil affects the mind. Yep, right there. Yep. So yeah. So we just found those. Delved into every nook and cranny we could. Found a +7 longbow, just so we can use the various switches from range. Found the Dark Quartz Ring +3, which we probably will be using next episode because I think they're priestesses of Shulva, but they do hexes, so we might need it. Yeah, so now we have the hex ring. Yep. Increases by 100, increases by 150. Yep, so get some good amount of defenses with that. We also found the Thunder Quartz Ring +3, the Sanctum Mace guaranteed pickup, various life gems, various magic bolts for some reason. I think we got some soul items as well. We found one of the dried roots, which again is the only use for it is just to sell it. I mean, I think you get like 1,000 souls for each root, and it's like it has a low hum to it when you use it. It can get annoying after a while, and it very slowly, regens HP. It's like, no. If it had a bit more regen, yeah, but no, I'd rather just put on the ring. Which ring was it? The Sun Ring, I think it's called. Yeah, Ring of Restoration. This provides more HP regen than the root does, and it's a permanent effect, so it's like, no. So use the dried root, fought some more through Sanctum soldiers, some more of those little corrosive bug things, and picked up various items again. Died 2 times trying to get to an item, which we didn't really had to. I don't know. Just had to lower a platform in order to get to it, but oh well. I thought we could just run off to it, but nope. I thought we could roll to it. Nope. You gotta lower a platform to jump across. Yeah, so, but it was the Dark Knight stones, but it's not worth it. I mean, we have a bunch of them, and we can buy some from Cloan at this point. Yep. Found the hidden switch, which raised a platform, which led us to a funky little tree demon of sorts. Hit it with anything. You hit them with a weapon, doesn't do anything. Hit it with a pyromancy, doesn't do anything. Hit it with a notched whip, it releases repair powder, restoring equipment. Odd, I know, it's odd. I don't know what's it about, but it's there, I guess. Found the what's it? The slow walk of peace or something like that. Promised walk of peace. In that same room by that tree. Yep. It's based on the tranquil walk of peace from Dark Souls 1 again, but yep. And yeah, just that. Found this little bonfire here across all these platforms. Yep. And that's really it. Yeah, we just kind of fought through Sanctum soldiers, looked through nooks and crannies. Not much loot to point out except for the bombs, the old growth bomb and the golden fruit bombs. Yeah, some soul items, the Sanctum mace again, life gems, +7 bow, +7 whip. Yeah, not much to say in this outskirts of Shulva. Definitely gonna get a lot more crazier once we get into the temple. That's where the difficulty really spikes. Dealing with the Sanctum knights and the priestesses, and those knights being in ghost form until you can break their cursed armor and all that stuff. It's surreal work. But yeah. So yeah. Yep. So now we started the Sunken Crown DLC. Yep. And next stop, hopefully into the temple. Yep. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I'm just gonna call it the temple for now. Yep. Again, we'll be facing the Sanctum Knights, which you can't poise break, so weapon choice is kind of, I don't know, it's probably gonna be the Firewing Spear at this point. Yep. The priestesses, a whole bunch of crystal lizards in one particular room. I don't know if we're actually gonna get to that one. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Definitely want to take our time going through there, but yeah. Get to the challenge area. Don't want to do the challenge area, but we'll unlock it. We'll do it probably at the end of the DLC, but yeah, not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it. But again, that is for another episode, and I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.